Say it again.
So number 1, I have 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12.
2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12. Okay. Let me write it down. 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12. Okay.
For number 2, I skipped that one.
Okay.
For number 3, I have 80.
80. Okay. How did you do it?
For that one, what I did was, I don't know if I'm correct, I just did area. I used the length and the breadth.
Okay.
And that's what I did.
Okay. Okay. So we're going to put a mark here. You use a formula that's not for triangle. Yeah.
Okay. For number 4, I have 1/5.
1/5. Take me through the process.
Okay, so I did, I divided everything by 3 because I thought that 3 was a common number that could divide everything.
Okay.
So I had 3 divided by 12, 4, 3 divided by 15, 5.
Okay.
3 divided by 9, 3. 3 divided by 6, 2.
Okay.
Then I further went and divided 2 divided by 2, 1. 2 divided by 4, 2. So that left me with 2/5 and then 3/1.
Okay.
Then I multiplied that by each of it. That's 2 times 3, 6 over 5 times 1, 5.
Okay.
I did how many 5s can I find in 6 because 6 is greater than 5. And then I put 1 and then left with 1 and then that's how I arrived at 1/5.
Okay, good. So this is the first complete mark you've gotten.
Oh my goodness.
Good one. Good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the next one, I have 431.8.
431.8. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I should have, what's it called? Rounded up, I don't know, but I just left it at 431.8.
Okay. I think your answer is close, but you made a little mistake. So that's why we're having this class, because the difference between passing the ASVAB test and failing might just be little mistakes that you make, right?
Right.
Good. So I'm going to put this on this. That means you're almost there, but not there yet. Same here. Almost there, but these are all factors of 24, but you miss out 2 factors.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you another one first.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Let you show my mistakes. Okay, so for number 6, I'm not sure. My answer is 12.
Okay. 12. How did you go about it?
So what I did was when we have 20, I put the minus behind 20 and then move the 5.
Okay.
And then that equals 3x. And then so that's 20 minus 5 equals 3x.
Okay.
So 20 minus 5, I had 15. And then I put 15 equals
No, almost there, but no, this one we're gonna put a star on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then for number 7, I'm confused. I actually won't do that one as well.
Okay. So we're also going to put a star like this. So let's look at your performance at the end of the test. So when you see this mark, it means that you're almost there. This mark means that you got it completely, but the star means that you weren't close at all. Right? So with this one, you were very close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a video lesson, right? That you can just go through yourself and then you can figure this out. Right? So you don't need to spend time on it. This one we can learn it in the net. I think this answer is very close, but your issue was you did not put the decimal point at the right location.
60,043.18.
Now you're guessing. The question is why is it going? Why should it? Why should it have been that? Why?
No, I'm saying that because I have 27 and 24, but I looked at them as 1 point. So should I have made them 2 points, like 2 individual points?
Yeah. So where the decimal point is finally placed depends on how many numbers are behind the decimal point for both of them. So here one number is behind the decimal point, here one number is behind the decimal point, so a total of 2 numbers.
Okay.
So in your answer, a total of 2 numbers should be behind the decimal point. So it's easy to just, because the multiplication is okay, just the positioning of the decimal point.
Okay.
Right? So if you have 16.2 multiplied by 1.75, how many numbers are after the decimal point?
3.
Therefore, when you want to write your final answer, 3 numbers will be after the decimal point, right?
Okay.
So this one is easy we've concluded on that, so it's not difficult. So now we're going to look at what we'll be focusing on in our class, in our live class, what we'll be focusing on. So we'll be focusing on long division, which is the most important topic in the ASVAB test. The most important. Why is it the most important? It's the most important because in the ASVAB test, you don't have access to a calculator. So whatever calculation you will do, especially for division, you have to do it manually. And sometimes you might come across large numbers that you need to use long division, right? So this is the most important topic. Then also we'll look at geometry, area, perimeter of 2D shapes, very important. Then we'll look at equations, and then we'll look at algebra. So I'm going to write down the list of topics we are going to be learning in class, okay?
Okay.
So once we are done with one topic, you let me know the next topic. So the first topic we will learn is long division. The second topic is 2D shapes. I think we should learn 2D shapes first. So put 2D shapes first. Because I think we can conclude on 2D shapes in one class. And then the third is algebra. And then the fourth is equations. Okay. So every other topic we're going to learn is going to be founded on these topics. These are the foundation, right?
Okay.
For example, if you want to do ratio, you need to know about fractions. If you want to solve, let's say, percentage, you also need to know about fractions because percentage will involve fractions or decimals. So once we are good with all this, then those other topics we're going to be looking at them as we solve the practice questions. So as we are solving the practice questions, we'll be learning about those other topics as we go along. Okay? Good. So hope you've written them down.
Yes, I have.
Good. So now let's do a quick review of your your history. Have you sat for the test before? I just want to take them down. Yeah, go ahead.
Like I mentioned, I took the practice test on Wednesday. So that was like my first time of coming in contact with the practice or ASVAB as a whole.
Okay. So you've not taken the test. Based on your performance, I can see that you are good with the basics. The basics are multiplication. The basics are division. So once you are good with those basics, we can easily scale up. So based on your performance in today's test, I think you will still have two other subjects you need to work on, right? The word knowledge, the paragraph comprehension. Good. So, but I think the minimum we should be aiming for is 50 on the ASVAB.
Okay.
But what do you have a specific job that you are looking for? You are aiming for?
Yes. So I'm looking for administrative.
Okay. Are there any specific requirements? Are there any specific requirements or minimum scores that you need to get?
So for the MOA for administrative, my recruiter did tell me to look at 60 and up.
Okay, good. So, and we can achieve that. We can. So how long did we discuss about the duration of the class initially?
Yes, we did.
Okay, what did we say?
So give me one moment. So we talked about, I think you did mention that you would typically suggest 6 weeks. Is that right?
Yeah, 6 or 4 weeks.
6 weeks.
Okay, 6 or 4 weeks. Yeah.
Okay, 6 or 4 weeks. Okay, and I did say that I wanted to do the practice test, but my recruiter asked me to
2 weeks from now. Yeah.
come back in 2 weeks.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, we can, since we are looking at that score, minimum of 60, and the recruiter wants you to come in 2 weeks.
I don't want to have a minimum of 60.
Yeah. I mean, based on what your recruiter said. So
yes.
Yeah. So duration is important. It is a combination of ability and duration because it's in the duration you have time to practice, right? So if we're looking at that score, I would suggest we should be looking at, because originally we discussed about about 5 hours a week, 6 hours a week.
Yes.
6 hours a week. So if we have 6 hours a week, let's aim for the maximum 4 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'll put it that.
Yeah, let's aim for the maximum 4 weeks, and then within this period you put in your best. We can achieve even greater than that score. Yeah. Okay. So we are putting our minimum score at 70. Okay. So we have a 10 marks factor of safety. So let's start. So we are starting with 2D shapes. Okay. 2D shapes. So what is a 2D shape? Do you know what a 2D shape is?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay. So a 2D shape is basically a flat shape. A 2D shape is a flat shape. So if I have a shape like this, from your point of view, these two shapes look similar, right? If you look at them, they look similar from your point of view. But this shape or this item, I can hold it, I can move it around, right? But if I want to hold this one, can I hold it? No. So no matter how I try, I cannot handle this because this is a flat shape. So they both look the same from your point of view initially, but I can handle this. So this one is a 2D shape, while this is a 3D shape. So 2D shape or plane shape, 3D shape or solid shape, right? So the focus of this class is on 2D shapes. Good. So for the purpose of the ASVAB test, we'll be focusing on 4 2D shapes. There are so many 2D shapes, but our focus will be 4. The rectangle, the square, the triangle, and the circle. So these are the 4 2D shapes we'll be focusing on. Now, what will we be focusing on these 2D shapes? Every 2D shape is divided into 2 parts. The first part is the area. The area of the 2D shape, or let me write it in full. The area of a 2D shape. The area of a 2D shape is the empty space inside the 2D shape. So whenever you are told area of a 2D shape, what they are simply referring to is the empty space inside the 2D shape. Number 2, perimeter. The perimeter of the 2D shape is the sum of the lines surrounding the 2D shape. So these are the 2 components that make up a 2D shape. You cannot have a 2D shape without these combining together. So let's look at this. If I have this 2D shape, you're going to see that there's an empty space here. What's that empty space called?
That's the area.
That's the area. Empty space is the area. And then you're also going to see that for this to have a definite figure, there must be a boundary, or there must be boundaries, right?
Okay.
So when you add those boundaries together, that's the perimeter. When you add all of them together, so if you know their dimensions and you add all of them together, you've gotten the perimeter. Good. So you cannot have a 2D shape that does not have area and perimeter. Now, sometimes you might be given a question in the ASVAB test to either calculate the area or the perimeter, but in the question you will not see the word area or perimeter. So it's now the real life application of the lesson. Let's look at, you are in a room, right? You are in a room, and it's good. If you look at your room, the floor of the room is like the area, right? It's the area of the room.
Yes.
But the walls surrounding your room is the what?
Perimeter.
Perimeter of your room. So sometimes you might see a question and you are told that a man wants to change the carpet in his room. His room is 10 meters long and 8 meters wide. What is the total size of carpet he needs to buy?
So that would be length and breadth.
Yeah, or what are they asking of? They're asking of what? Is it area or perimeter?
They're asking for the area.
Because why do you think is the area?
Because they gave us the size of the perimeter already.
No, because they told you that they want to find out the size of the carpet, and the carpet covers the space inside the room, right?
Yes.
So if you want to change the carpet in your room, you need to know the space inside your room. So you buy the carpet to suit the space inside your room, and that's the area. In another situation, you might be told that a man bought a piece of land and he wants to fence the piece of land. What is the total length of fence he's going to construct? Is that area or perimeter?
That's outward, so that's perimeter.
That's perimeter, because the fence will go around the piece of land, right? So you need to observe as we go along. We're going to see those kind of questions. Are they asking you for area? Are they asking for perimeter? Because you, in some cases, especially in the arithmetic reasoning, you might not see the word area or perimeter, but they might be asking for them. Good. So now we're going to see how to calculate the area and the perimeter of these four 2D shapes we've mentioned earlier: the rectangle, the square, the triangle, and the circle. But the formulas are very important. You know, I gave you a question on calculating the area of a triangle. Right. So you use the wrong formula. So the formulas are like the and get access to the right room, right?
Okay.
So as we are going through the lesson, at the end of it, you should be able to match up the shape with the right formula.
The right formula.
Good. So let's go ahead. So now we start with the rectangle.
Okay.
So a rectangle is a 2D shape that has four sides. A rectangle is a 2D shape that has four sides. Two opposite sides, one set of opposite sides is longer than the other set of opposite sides. So if these are the longer sides are called the length. And the shorter sides are called the width. Right? Good. So now, what is the formula for area? Area of this rectangle is length multiplied by width. Very simple formula, length multiplied by width. How is it gotten? If I have, sorry, if I have, these are students in my class. How many students are in my class? How did you get 12?
That's adding all the circles that you made.
You counted all of them?
Yes.
You are not a professional. A professional, or you know, what if this was a large crowd? Would you go around counting? Let's say there's an event and you are one of the, is it ushers they call them here? You are one of the ushers and you need to count the people in a particular portion of the crowd. Do you go about counting 1, 2, 3, 4? No. What you
Because
simply
I counted three and then rows. That's what I did.
good. You simply walk past, and while you're walking past, you're counting them, right?
Yes, that's what I did.
Okay, then you're a professional.
I looked at one row and said 1, 2, 3, and I knew that there were four
Good.
rows and columns, and then I added it.
Good. But also, this can be very large that you might not still be able to do that. But if you walk past this crowd, no matter how many they are, as long as you know that the chairs are arranged properly, if you walk past this crowd and you count them, these are 4 guys here. And then you walk this way, you count them, these are 3 people here. All you need to do is multiply them.
That's how I came up with my answer.
Good. So you just simply multiply them to know everybody here. So that's the same concept here. If I want to know the entire space here, all I need to do is know this side and this side. If I multiply them, I know everything here. Right? So it's the same concept. Area of a rectangle is equal to length multiplied by width. But the perimeter, remember the perimeter is the sum of all the sides. So length plus length plus width plus width. Yeah, this is width and this is width. So you just add everything together and that gives you the perimeter. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Good. So let's look at one question. So try, when you write it down, I want you to try it out. Calculate the area, calculate the perimeter. One minute.
Okay, 1 moment. I'm not done.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done.
So what did you get for the area?
So the area I had 12 times 8.
Okay.
And that gave me 96.
Okay.
And then for the perimeter, I had 12 times, well, sorry, 12 plus 12 plus 8 plus 8.
Okay.
And I actually did 12 times 2.
Yeah, that's also correct.
8 times 2 and then added it back in 30.
Check again. 12 times 2, 8 times 2, is it 30?
12 times, yeah, 12 times 10, 24. 8 times, sorry, 8 times 2, 16. 16 plus 24. 6 plus 4 is, oh, sorry, 6 plus 4 is actually 10. I did 20.
Okay.
3, 4 is 40 plus 24. 64.
12 plus 12, you said is 24, right?
Yes.
Plus 8 plus 8 is 16. 24 plus 16.
24 plus 16
Yeah.
is 40.
Okay. Okay, so the area of the rectangle is 96 square feet. But most times I don't bother my students with the units because the most important thing for the ASVAB test is to get the numbers, right? So 96 square feet and the perimeter is 40 feet. Okay, good. So we've seen the formula for calculating the area of a square, area of a rectangle, and the perimeter of a rectangle. Area is length times width. Perimeter is length plus width plus width. Okay, so now let's go to square. So a square is similar to a rectangle, but they have just one difference. For a square, all the sides are equal. So here is length, and here is length. So that means all the sides of a square are called length. So since the shapes are similar, the formulas are also similar. So area of a square is equal to length multiplied by length. Length multiplied by length. And the perimeter is equal to length plus length plus length plus length. Or you can simply say 4 length. In this, so try this out.
Okay. All right, let me do that. 69 feet.
Okay, that's the area, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so the perimeter is going to be 52.
52, correct. Good. So now we go to triangle.
Okay.
So the triangle is a 2D shape that has four sides. Sorry, that has three sides.
Okay.
So this is called the base, and this is called the height.
Is this a regular triangle?
Yeah, there are different types of triangles, but for the purpose of the formula, we are using this type of triangle called right triangle.
Okay.
Yeah, there are other formulas for calculating area of a triangle, but it's not needed in the ASVAB test.
Okay.
So the area of a triangle is equal to the base multiplied by the height divided by 2. So
is that for a right angle triangle or triangles as a whole?
Triangles, right? Most times, especially for the ASVAB test, that's what they will need from you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, that's the knowledge you need to pass, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see that the triangle has three sides, but you don't need to know the three sides to calculate the area. You only need to know the base and the height. So the third side is not important when calculating the area. But when calculating the perimeter, we know that the perimeter is the sum of all the sides. Therefore, you cannot calculate the perimeter without knowing the three sides. So perimeter is so the perimeter is the sum of the three sides.
Okay.
So let's go back to the question I gave you. Okay. So try that out.
Okay. I think I've done it, but I have a question. I'll tell you my answer first, and then I'll let you tell me if it's correct.
Okay.
So my answer is, we have two answers, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Maybe I'm overthinking it. I
Yeah.
have a 40
Okay.
and I have a 20, so I'm not sure which.
How did you get 40?
So I did 8 times 10, which is 80,
Okay.
divided by 2. That's how I got 40.
Okay, so how did you get 20?
Where I had 8 times 10 divided by 2.
Okay.
I divided them individually. That's like 2 divided by 8, that's 4.
Okay.
2 divided by 10, that's 5. And then multiply, and then multiply 4 times 5, and that's 8.
Okay, so when the one you said 2 divided by 8 divided by 2, that formula would have been b all over 2 times h all over 2. That's how it would have looked. So that means we would have divided them individually. But now the division sign cuts across both of them. That means you need to work on them first before you divide by 2. Right?
Okay.
Good. Can we continue? So that means the correct answer is what? 40. Good. So let's see another example. Okay. So what will be the perimeter of this triangle?
It would be the addition of all of them.
Okay. Okay.
And that's 125.
125. Correct. Good. So you simply add all of them to get the perimeter. One more question.
Okay.
Okay, try that out.
Okay. So my answer is 16.
16. How did you get 16?
So I did 14 plus 18 plus unknown equals 48 because it's perimeter and that's supposed to be the sum of three sides.
Yeah.
So I did 14 plus 18 into 32 plus unknown is 48. Then I moved the 32 behind the 48, which then is subtracted from the 48 and give me 16.
Good. Good. Very good. So we've looked at the area and the perimeter of a square, a rectangle, and a circle. So now we go to the perimeter of, we've looked at rectangle, square, and triangle, right? So now we look at circle. So a circle is a little bit different from the other 2D shapes we've considered. So the other 2D shapes are bounded by straight lines, right? But a circle is bounded by a curved line. So this affects the perimeter. So for other 2D shapes, it is called perimeter. But for a circle, the line surrounding the circle is called circumference. So that means you don't calculate the perimeter of a circle. Instead, you calculate the circumference of a circle. Sorry, there's a little construction going behind my fence. So we are going to be calculating the area and the circumference of the circle. Now let's assume that this is the center of the circle. When you draw a line from the circumference passing through the center to the other side of the circumference, that line is the diameter. So the diameter cuts the circle into two equal parts. So from the circumference through the center to the other side of the circumference, that line is the diameter. But half of the diameter is called radius.
This is where it starts to get this is where it starts to get difficult.
It starts to get easy, right? Not difficult, easy. In this class, it starts to get easy.
Okay.
So the line that cuts the circle into two equal halves is called the diameter. But half of the diameter is a radius. So that means we can say that a radius is made up of how many, sorry, a diameter is made up of how many radius?
Two radius.
Two radius. We can also say a radius is equal to diameter divided by 2, right? A radius is diameter divided by 2. That means if I know the diameter, I can find the radius by dividing it by 2. So if I know that the diameter is 20, what will be the value of the radius? 10. If I know the diameter is 16, what will be the value of the radius? 8. So the radius is always half of the diameter. Now this is important because the formula for calculating the area requires radius. But in the test, you might be given the diameter instead of the radius. So that means before you start calculating, you need to cut that radius by half. Right? So area of,
cutting the radius by half.
so, sorry, we need to cut the diameter by half to get the radius. Yeah. So area is equal to pi radius squared. That's the formula. Pi radius square. And circumference.
This inconsistent.
Okay.
So the radius is the diameter divided by 2.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's just basically half of the diameter.
Yeah.
So to find the area, you said is pi radius square.
Yeah.
So what would the pi now be?
Yeah, we're getting to that.
Okay.
So the formula for the circumference is 2 pi radius. The formulas look similar, but you need to be able to differentiate them. So now we go to pi. Your question, pi is a constant. A constant means that pi does not change. It remains the same.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't need to know the history behind pi. That's not the focus. We only need to remember what pi is. So pi is a constant equal to 3.14. So pi does not change. It remains the same, 3.14. So that means the implication of this is if you might be given, you most likely will be given a question on either calculating the area or the circumference, but you will not be given the value of pi.
Because that's supposed to be a known number.
Yeah. Because they expect you to know that pi is equal to 3.14.
Okay.
Good. So what you need to calculate the area of a circle is know the value of pi and know the radius.
Okay.
So, but why I brought up this relationship is because sometimes you might be asked to calculate the area, but they will not give you the radius. Instead, they will give you the diameter.
They give you the diameter. Okay.
So, if you use the diameter to do this calculation, you'll be getting the wrong answer.
Okay.
So, instead, before you start doing the calculation, you need to cut that diameter in half because that will be the value of the radius. Good. So let me know when you're ready for us to continue.
Okay, give me 1 minute. Let me pull up my phone.
Okay.
So R in this context of area is pi r squared. That's radius square, right?
Say it again. Yeah, radius squared. Yeah, R is radius.
Okay.
Can we continue?
Yes, please.
Okay. So let's look at an example. Okay. Done writing?
I'm trying to do it. I'm done writing, but I haven't solved.
Yeah, we are solving it together.
Okay.
Yeah. So when we are done with this, I'll give you the one to solve. So let's first calculate the area. What's the formula for area of a circle? Pi r squared. What's the value of pi? 3.14. And what's the radius here? 12. So fix it into the formula. 3.14 multiplied by. What does r squared mean?
12 squared.
Yeah, which is 12 times 12, right?
Yes.
3.14. What's 12 squared?
Let's see.
12 times 12. 12 times 12. Check again. 144. Okay, so now you're going to do 3.14 times 144. What do you have?
Actually, we'll do that real quick. Like I'm going to calculate.
You can't use a calculator, yeah.
Let me see. So it's 4. Small
452.16. 452.16, correct. So that's the answer. Are you done writing?
No.
No.
Let me write that. Okay, done.
Good. So now let's look at circumference.
Okay.
So what's the formula for the circumference of a circle?
2 pi r.
2 pi r. That gives us 2 times 3.14 times 12. So the way I will advise to do it is multiply the whole numbers first. So 2 times 12 will give us 24. So 3.14 times 24. It makes your work easier.
75.36.
75.36, correct. Okay. Done writing?
No, one moment, please. Alright, I'm done.
Good. So I'm going to change this 12 to 9. So try it out. Calculate the area and circumference when the radius is 9.
Okay. So I should solve that, right?
Yeah, yeah.